Hello, everybody. Welcome back to RT Talk, the weekly podcast about the company Rooster Teeth. I am Michael Poole, and joining me this week is my forever best friend and co-host, Mr. Doug Kirkwood Jr. He is here again. He did not abandon us. He has showed up. His attendance has gotten much better in the last couple weeks. This week we talk about the Among Us sus shirt being taken down from the RT store and the kind of apology from Achievement Hunter, all that kind of stuff. We talk about Alfredo and a personal thing that's sort of going on with him in his life. We talk about that briefly. Talk about Extra Life and the schedule for Extra Life and what's to come. And we talk about donations a little bit. And we do kind of wander off a few times in this podcast, but we do mention the YouTube outage and how, I guess we very quickly mentioned it as a benefit for Rooster Teeth and their site and why they see the site as important. But I'm trying to cut down my intros a lot, so I'm just going to let the past me take it away and the past Doug take it away. So, gentlemen, if you would take it from here, please. Thank you. That's stupid. Well, welcome back, Doug. Truly welcome back, Doug, because you are here.
I'm here.
No more photos. More.
The photos were great, though.
I went through a Rolodex of old images of you and found some that you didn't even know were taken, some that you didn't remember or forgot about, and some from way back when, because it turns out I don't have a lot of pictures of you, so I had to dig deep into my archive.
I don't know if it was looked like an old school poster, and it's like I said, I'm dead inside, and I thought that was a spot on.
It's fitting, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if you would remember that, because I know when I found that, I sent that to you. I'd have to look to see when the date was, which I'm not going to do right now, but whenever I found it, 3 years ago or something, is when I would have sent it to you. And I was like, I feel like there's probably no way he remembers this. And I was like, and if he does, it's even better. So I was like, it's fitting and it works. But yes, you are here. The video's working. As far as I know, my video's working. I should, of course, the signal that we are recording is the loud car goes by. But I feel like I should stop talking about how everything's working in case things aren't working once we get to the point of editing and slapping it together. So I don't want to jinx it anymore. But I guess we'll just go into get into our subjects here. And the only thing,
first headline. What do you got?
I feel like this is like the biggest story, I guess, of the week. I would say, and it was a kind of an issue with one of the Achievement Hunter shirts, because they made a shirt that was based around Among Us, which we have talked about, and we've talked about Renee's awful, evil ways in Among Us.
She's the devil.
It's come up a lot since I think mostly on Out in the Grapes, but it's come up quite a few times. But still, we've talked about it quite a bit. But Achievement Hunter put out a shirt. I mean, they put out shirts all the time, but alongside some of their other releases, they put out like an Among Us based shirt. So it was a shirt. I forgot to pull up the screenshot for it, but it was I think it was just like a space helmet. It said "sus" on it.
Yeah. And
it had like a kind of like a graphic shadow on it behind it.
Well, couldn't you pick was there different colors? You can get the helmet in.
I don't know, because I didn't see it until I saw them announce that it was getting taken down. So, because I usually don't like when they announce new shirts or anything. I typically don't go and look to see them every single time. So this was one that I didn't even know existed until I saw their sort of like apology and stuff for it. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Because once again, we were going into this week and I wasn't exactly sure what this episode was going to be about or anything. And in the 11th hour, this came out. I was like, okay.
Sus happened.
It's how the Alana one happened that way. Last week's happened that way. So it's been a theme for the last couple weeks since the giant explosion of controversy that surrounded everything with Adam and Ryan. But that's how it's worked since then. So, but I guess I'll just read the tweets because they're pretty short. But they said, "Hey everyone, our intent behind the sus shirt was to capture the fun we have playing the game Among Us while keeping our design in the realm of parody. We hope that this would fall in line with our brand of humor and how we approach gaming. We see that we missed the mark and we apologize. We've taken a look at our internal approval process to ensure we don't cross the lines again and have removed the shirt from the store page. So again, I wasn't even aware the shirt was out there, but another like layer to this that I didn't realize is that apparently I don't know who the company is. I forget who makes Among Us.
Inner Sloth.
That's it. I didn't realize that they kind of just asked people to not make like Among Us based merchandise because they're a small indie developer and they have their own merch and so like they basically asked people not to do that, and which again I wasn't aware of that, and I didn't know about this, so I don't know, I have no idea like if anyone was aware of that before it came out on here. I can't imagine that they would have did this in hope they wouldn't have gotten caught or anything.
Right, I don't think it's malicious. It was just they play the game, they love it, and I mean it's a really hot game right now.
It is, and the design of the shirt too was pretty. Like it wasn't an Among Us character. I mean, it was enough to know that's what it was in reference to. I'm not saying like it was so vague; it could have been about anything. But it was like it wasn't just an exact like you weren't just it wasn't just like the space suit character that you play in the game. Like it was a little more artistic like creativity there, but it's still I think it still falls in line with being obviously a reference to Among Us and would be in line with their merch. I feel like it's kind of hard. Like, I guess it's respecting their wishes is why you would take something down. I feel like it's gonna be hard for the I already forgot their name is the sloth. Inner Sloth. I was thinking Internal Sloth. I was like, that's not correct.
It's not far off, but it's wrong.
It is wrong. I would not get full credit for that.
Inner Sloth.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a hard thing to really like enforce, especially. I mean, I don't think they're enforcing it. Like I said, I think it's more of like a request, like, hey, we're a small developer, please direct people to us. But I know for a fact if you go on Etsy and look at Among Us, there's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, but I mean that's just someone like me or you having a Cricket and like I'm gonna just bank off this popularity right now. They're not gonna stop.
Yeah, that's why I said like I don't think it's something they're enforcing. I think it's more of just like a please be nice kind of thing, and which I think is,
Or we'll sue you.
Well, I don't even think they'll do that. I think they're just asking kindly to not do that since they're a small indie developer. But and I wonder like. I don't know when you cross the line from indie developer to like a legit developer, because I feel like everyone's playing Among Us, and
yeah, but I mean, as far as I know, this is the only game they released, and like they're gonna be indie until I guess they do more or they get picked up by somebody else.
I don't know. It's really just more so like it's like a real question. Like I don't know what that line is. I don't know where that exists. Like when you become like, are you always indie if you're just not associated with like a bigger company? Maybe I don't know. I'm just. Basically, I'm ignorant of the gaming dev world to know the answer to that question. Is really
why? How dare you?
Why am I ignorant? Because I stopped my subscription to Game Informer like ages ago. I stopped going to GameStop and stopped re-upping. So,
well, they made you re-up. They're like, hey, you want to buy this game? Also, here's a year of this for $10.
And I loved it. I loved that. I would get that magazine all the fucking time, and I would like I take in the smells. I loved everything about that magazine.
You remember they screwed up your subscription? They gave you like 3 years for free.
I don't remember if it was that. I do remember getting 2 copies every month.
Oh,
I remember that.
What I'm thinking of. You used to give me one.
Yeah, yes, I used to get them all. Like I was just like, why do I have 2? That's just, whatever. And of course, as the wind blows, Doug lucks out once again. But
worked out.
Yeah, so I'll blame that period. I stopped getting Nintendo Power. I don't get Game Informer anymore.
You're not on GameSpot.com?
Not as much, no. I used to live there, fighting with people about Dragon Ball Z. But, no, so like I'm just kind of ignorant of the dev world, and like I said, maybe it has something to do with like the company you work for or how this whole thing works. So it's, as I said, like that's a legit question. Like I don't know where that line is because I assume they made a lot of money off of Among Us.
I hope so.
I forget how much the game is, but
it's $5 on Steam. It's free on mobile with ads.
And I mean, I feel like that's a game they could easily charge $20 for, and would have made obviously 4 times as much money, but still I think that it's with everyone that I see playing it and how much they've been playing it, since I first heard about it. I feel like they've made a pretty penny, but still, obviously there's a whole other penny you can earn off of your merch sales. I think what would be really cool to see is if there was someone that was making Among Us merch, like someone who is, an actual designer, maybe someone like I said, like these people that are like on Etsy or whatever making these things, actually like, I don't know, either offer the design or, say like, here's this thing, we love this game that you can sell, like you can have my design or we'll work together on something. I think that'd be a cool thing to see, because I think it's definitely hard, especially like for you and I, like if we wanted to do merch for our show, doing RT Talk or, Out in the Grapes, probably not a good idea, because that's there's an Achievement Hunter shirt that says Out in the Grapes, I'm pretty sure. But still, if we want to do like our own merch, it's like we could come up with so much for what we'd want to do for like, a shirt or a sticker or whatever. But we're not going to be in the same realm as like, we'll even go up like to Achievement Hunter shirts where they have actual graphic designers and people working on like merchandising and stuff. Like what they're going to put out is going to be way better, in terms of its appeal, like visual appeal. So it's like, I feel like if something like that would happen, it would help them a lot with their stuff. I mean, I don't even know what they have for sale for their merch, but still, I think that'd be a cool thing to see.
Well, I think Inner Sloth should do a shirt with a space helmet with not the Rooster Teeth rooster, but like just like a hen and like, I don't know, teeth, just like make fun of Rooster Teeth.
They could. Or Rooster Teeth could bring back their sus shirt and then just give the money to Inner Sloth or Internal Sloth. Whatever one you prefer. It can be either, is what I learned. It doesn't matter. But
I went to the Inner Sloth. I wanted to see their merch, see what it looks like. Well, they have 3 games.
Oh, look at you. How dare you? How dare you put them down like that and say they only had 1 game? People are going to remember this, Doug.
Well, see ya.
You've been canceled. I'm sorry. But yeah, so something like that would be a cool twist to see on the story. Like
they have a fuck ton of merch, so definitely go check that out if you're into this game.
Maybe I feel like I have to look it up because I don't know what it's even there.
My favorite one's the Spaceman in the Pocket. Anyway, this is terrible podcasting when we're looking at merch.
Also, since my computer stopped, like kind of like somewhat froze while I was trying to pull it up. Yeah, I wanted to see just how much they actually had on here.
A lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have some pretty cool designs too.
So they don't need your Etsy pity. Fuck you.
Okay, they don't need it, but it'd still be cool.
How cool.
Yeah. Oh, they have their little emergency meeting or body reported like Inferno banner that pops up, but for their links to go to the accessories and everything else. Yeah, there's quite a few. Most of it is like different colors of like the same design. So if you have a like whatever color you play, it's on there.
See, I always play as orange, but I would never just buy an orange shirt. No one looks good in orange.
You'd make it work. You could rock it.
No. Nah.
But I'm happy that they addressed it and just, kind of did the right thing.
Yeah.
And took it down. Like I said, it wasn't like a direct, here's a spaceman on a shirt. And so like it wasn't direct, but it's obvious what they were going to, so it was close enough. And I don't know, it could be just because of everything else that's been happening. They don't we're easily just gonna step away from this. Like this is an easy decision, just to say, okay, we're not even gonna dance around it. But no matter what the motivation was, I think it's the right call to take the shirt down and just kind of direct people to go to Inner Sloth and see what they have, because they do have quite a few like I said, it's mostly different colors of the same design, but there is a few designs on there. It's not just Among Us, or I think there is one that's just a spaceman, but there is some more creativity, more flair to their shirts that are on there. So go check out them and get one of those shirts. I'll get
innersloth.com support.
I'll get Renee the purple one because she's always purple.
Get her the red one because she's the devil.
It's a good call. You know what? Add to cart and click. But yeah, I'd say that was probably like the most newsworthy kind of story this week was the shirt thing, because it was kind of, it's like a low level controversy because it's I don't think there was a lot of harm that came out of it, but still it was just a matter of doing the right thing. And I guess this kind of just transitions a little bit into Alfredo, because Alfredo was kind of revealed something personal and it came out because of Among Us. So Alfredo, I don't know if for anyone who's on Twitter, if you follow Alfredo, you may have noticed that his account is now private. I'm not sure if it's related to this story or if it's maybe something else, but it's now private. And around roughly the time that he made it private, he made a tweet saying that, in quotes, saying, "I hate that AH doesn't know what they're doing when they play games." And then he said, "Me playing Among Us properly," in quotes, "Alfredo is trying too hard and is sucking the fun out of the game." And he said, "Honestly, I cannot win with you fools," is what he said. And then he followed that up. I don't know what the exact time frame was, but a little bit later, saying, "I apologize to you all. I had a bit of a health scare recently, which had me take a step back and look at things differently. Much love." Now, I don't think he necessarily had to apologize for that, because it felt, it was pretty, I don't know. It's like, I don't feel like he went after, he didn't really flamethrower somebody.
No, I mean, I think he has the same complaint they all do. There's we know we're not good, or if we, like he said, because he's the best one of the crew for video games.
It depends. I mean, shooters, absolutely. He's like a pro gamer in shooters.
Right. So him being good, they're like, well, don't be good at this game that's supposed to be dumb. What the hell do you want from me?
And I gotta say, Alfredo, I like both of those. I like whenever he plays and is just done. We just watched the Gmod for this week last night, and there's a moment where he's innocent and he's sneaking up behind someone else who is innocent, who's in the just got out of a gunfight, and they ran they're hiding around a wall waiting for whoever they were fighting to come around to ambush them, and Alfredo's sneaking up behind with a crowbar and just goes and just taps them with it, and then they freak out and they jump at that exact second that person came around the corner, and it was just this dumb moment that obviously is not the way you play the game, but it's a content move because it's a funny thing to do. So it's I like that, but I also like watching Alfredo's streams and stuff where he's playing Rainbow Six, and he's or when he played with Achievement Hunter back when the early days were around, when he not when he first started, but earlier on of him being there, and they were playing Rainbow Six, and he got a kill, but in a gap that was it was two desks put back to back, and there was this tiny space, and he's looking through that, and all he sees is a little bit of movement, and he just unloads and gets the final kill. It's those types of moments. I like both versions of Alfredo. I don't know, I don't choose one or the other. They're both equally entertaining for completely separate reasons to me. So I understand I don't represent everybody, obviously, because he's complaining, or he's talking about them complaining, but still, it's it's just different genres. It's they're both fun and in their own way, and watching him play Among Us, there's things he does that are kind of on his streams. Even he's doing it because it's funny or creepy or whatever, and other times he's playing it for real, and then he's getting angry because no one else is. He's like, this is such a clear choice. It had to be them. There's no one else it could be. But that's still, it both lead to funny or entertaining moments, and I have no problem with either of them. But like I said, what kind of came out of this was him talking about having a health scare recently. So I imagine it just, you feel a lot more, sensitive, a lot more, shaken. Everything is everything's heightened whenever you go through something. I guess scary sounds like a too low level of a term. Like it was scary, but
he never said what it was, right? Whatever happened.
So apparently, because I saw someone talking about this, apparently on a recent stream that he did, he talked about it, and I'm getting this like secondhand because I didn't see that stream. I was planning on watching it, but I before I did, I guess he took that down. So I don't know if the reason he took it down is because after the stream, he didn't want that to be like something that was out there or not. So I'm kind of hesitant to say what I read because one, I don't even know if it's 100% true because I'm just reading it in a comment. And two, if he took down that, that stream, or not take it down, but maybe he just chose not to post it or whatever, and he didn't clarify on here and made his account private, it's kind of like, I don't know if I really want to like get into the rumor mongering part of it and, essentially spread something that he doesn't want to be spread out there. So
that's fair.
All I'll say was the comment basically was there was something and he got it checked out and it was okay. Was the gist of what the comment said. So,
Okay.
And I don't, like I said, I don't even know if that's exactly what it was or not, but,
that's all you need.
yeah, I just want to, I don't want to be like TMZ of Rooster Teeth. It's like, and this comment said this, and that one said like, it's like because that's
Bernie married Bigfoot.
I have spread some serious lies about Bernie and his tax evasion or something. I forget what I said exactly. Something about moving to Australia because he was in the cartel or something, but it could be anything. Who knows? But still, it's like with something like serious like this, it's like it's clear that he's being more private about it, and I feel like it makes sense just for us to respect that aspect of it. And if he says something, then we can we'll talk about it then if he makes like a public announcement about it. But it's basically the information is health scare, and it seemed it was found out to be nothing, at least according to that comment. But the fact that he says health scare makes it sound like that's that is what it is. It's something that you thought was going to be terrible or could have led to something really bad, but ultimately was okay. But yeah, that's what I was like. I obviously everyone listening knows whether or not this is true, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm gonna I don't want to put that like in the title or anything, just for that exact same reason. So we'll talk about it on here, but I don't want to get into the clickbaity kind of territory.
I mean, we are pretty deep into clickbaity territory.
How so?
I feel like we have the titles that are clickbaity.
Well, okay. How do you define clickbait?
Something that I don't know. I don't even care.
Okay, I'm glad you're here.
No, I mean,
because to me, clickbait is
something that's not true.
Well, no, it's a misleading title to me because you're baiting people to click on it, and like if it was, if I put like if our title is in, I'm absolutely not going to do this, but if I was like, Alfredo Diaz is gonna die with a question mark, it's like, and then you click on it and that's the story. It's like, you're a piece of shit. Like, to me, that's clickbait. Now, I don't know if that's everyone's definition of clickbait, but that's what it is to me. It's you're baiting someone to click on it with something that is not, it's either like a version of the truth or an extreme, thing. That's all those like ads and stuff like that. Like, she opened her yearbook and was shocked with what she found, or all that kind of stuff. It's like because I hate those stories. Like, I feel like, because this is something that I try to be careful with the titles. It's like I want it to be interesting. I don't want to just put exactly what it is, because that's not a title that's going to get people's attention. It's like I want something that's going to get people's attention, but I don't want to mislead is my thing. So it's like I don't want to I don't want it to be to just go for like the most obvious or extreme version of what it is, which we've talked about before, like the channels that focus so much on like Rooster Teeth's going downhill and that kind of stuff. They have a lot of titles like that, and it's like I never like, even outside of Rooster Teeth, like those videos always bother me where like I think I talked about it, I think so, but there was one about Funhouse, about how they were like, is Funhouse about to end? And the whole thing was essentially a history lesson on Funhouse. And I was like, how is this has anything to do with them ending? And it's like
nothing.
And so I was like, I try to avoid doing that. It's like I want it to be catchy and eye-catching in some way without going too far, but I want to make sure that what we talk about is what's in the episode. Because that's what I was talking to Renee about, is because we've mentioned how, October was by far the most downloads we've ever gotten in a calendar month. And and we talked about, like, we've having 1,000 downloads in one contained month is something that we hadn't had before, and we actually blew past 1,000 in a single month. So for anyone out there who is hearing this or listening to this, we thank you for being a part of that in whatever way you are or were. But what happened was, people were looking up the Ryan and Adam situation, and then they found the episode we did about Jeremy. I forget when exactly it was, but whenever he talked about leaving Achievement Hunter, or stepping back, off camera, and I was like, I titled that, "Is Jeremy Dooley leaving AH?" Because that was the question. Like, that is what we were talking about. Is he leaving? And I was like, I'm happy that people are finding that, and I'm happy we didn't choose a title that was like super misleading or anything. So it's like, that is literally what we were talking about. Like, is he going to be leaving? And because at that time there was something to back it up. It wasn't just pure speculation of, he hasn't been in videos a lot recently. It was based directly off of something that he tweeted. So, like, I was like, I'm happy that people are finding it. I'm happy we didn't go down that road. And then, we're just tricking people into listening. Because now that episode, because the Ryan and Adam one was our most popular episode by quite a bit. I said it was double the most popular one, and that's just because I was bad at math. But that was our most popular one, and then people found the Jeremy one, and that one blew by the Ryan and Adam one. So it's our most popular by a lot now. Now it's actually... No, maybe not now. I forget. I haven't looked at the Ryan ones. That one might be double the Ryan and Adam episode. So, still, this wasn't on my list to talk about, was our titles, but it's something that I try to be careful with, because I want to make sure, like, I never know how people feel about the titles, and that's the direction I try to go for. Whether or not I hit the mark every single time, it's, that's a different question, but that's what I'm aiming at, is to make sure that even if it is a little more, you ask a question in the title and that lures people in or whatever.
Well, I think that people should let us know if the titles are too clickbaity, not clickbaity enough, on a scale of 1 to clickbait.
Well, I think it depends a lot on what your definition of clickbait is, because clickbait could be kind of like what you were saying. It's a title that is worded or put in a way to make you click on it. Like that, but I was like, that's kind of what it's like advertising. Like, that's what gets people to watch or listen to the thing in general. So it's it's sort of the currency of the internet space, and YouTube is having.
Well, I think if we need better advertising, we got to use Arya, because when she almost died, we need to milk that.
Yes. Is my dog gonna die?
With that "Arms of an Angel" song,
and I would have to actually make sure I recorded myself crying in every episode, which I did a lot when I thought she was gonna die. But after we found out she was okay, I could get her on video right now. She's probably dead out in the love set. Well, that's a bad choice of words. She's probably dead asleep.
Clickbait.
Yeah. My dog died. Just keep going down that road. But that's at least my mindset when it comes to the titles, and that's what I try to go for. If it's in the title, I want to make sure it's what we're talking about, and not just there to trick people into listening. And I feel like we could go on for a while for, like, the philosophy for why I want to do things this way, or whatever. But I also want people to listen, so I'm not going to.
That's not interesting to anybody else. That's just me and you.
Well, if you're here and you enjoy our title talk, that'll be our podcast coming out on Mondays now. Is Title Talk. RT Talk is on Saturdays. Title Talk's on Mondays. Out in the Grapes is Wednesdays. That's our new schedule. Get used to it.
Well, it ain't happening.
We'll review titles of videos and channels, and that'll be the whole thing. And we will lose tremendous amounts of money. So this, going from the story of Alfredo and the health scare and whatever he has kind of going on in his life, I guess we'll kind of change rails here and talk about Extra Life because it's a oops, didn't mean to click that hard. Obviously it's a much more positive thing. It's been going on pretty all week for the most part. Community stream was last Saturday. When this comes out, they'll be streaming for their part of it. They're I think it's 13 hours, or I thought they said, oh no, never mind, it's 12 hours. It was November 13th. Oh no, wait a minute,
that's today.
Yeah, well, it says we're pulling an all-nighter with 13 hours of streaming, but then the schedule is from 9 to 9. So I don't know. Last week we were talking about Phil and streaming from 10 a.m. to 2, or was it 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. or something like that? Yeah. And I was like, is it actually that long? And it turns out it was that long. They put out their schedule and they streamed for that amount of time. So the Rooster Teeth tweet says 13 hours. Their schedule is 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. But that's what it says. So yeah, it's actually going on in another hour from when where we are at recording this right now. So it starts in an hour, but yeah, it's 9 p.m. right now, but it goes on until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So
why the puzzled look?
I'm just trying to figure out, is this the right? Okay, so this is just the stream leading into tomorrow's stream. Because it's leading up to tomorrow's big RTX live or RT Extra Life stream.
There we go.
I was confusing Extra Life and RT Life. I was mushing them together. Okay, so it's basically just this is the schedule that I'm looking at. See, okay, so I got misled by a picture. I thought that was the schedule for the live stream that's happening tomorrow, like their main one. But this is just the 13-hour live stream leading to the live stream. So, and it's going on all night long. So I guess basically I shouldn't even go through the schedule for this because by the time this comes out, it'll already be over. But
it's gone and over with.
But I can say right now, the goal that they, if you go to their actual Extra Life page, it says their goal is 500,000, and right now they're at $242,695. So they're almost halfway there. Basically halfway. This is obviously leading up to the big event for tomorrow. This kind of threw me off because I pulled it up not realizing that was the stream leading into the stream.
You were struggling there.
Well, I got very confused. I was really looking at it. I was like, wait, this is not what I thought it was. And then I was trying to read while talk, which seldomly works. I'm just kind of quickly scrolling through their Twitter to see if there was a schedule. Here we go. This is the real one. Extra Life schedule is here. So this is what will be happening whenever this episode comes out. So depending if people are listening to this or not, I don't know. But they have Achievement Hunters on for an hour and 15 minutes. Things get spicier. I'm assuming that's some sort of game involving hot sauces and stuff like that. Things that are Scoville hotter. Funhouse is on at noon. 2 p.m. Spooky. So at 2 p.m. Central Time. Katie's Corner is on at 3:30. Lindsay and Chef Mike round 2, which they did last year, where they faced off in a cooking challenge. That's at 4. Team Nice Dynamite's on at 4:45. Bob Ross is 6:30, which I think they've done in previous years where they do painting and stuff. I think that's backwards compatible. BZC Challenge Carts at 7:30. Sweet and Sour Hour is 8:30, and Closing Ceremonies is at 9:30. So, they have, obviously it's a condensed schedule because they're doing half the stream, even though they're kind of doing a full stream starting at, tonight, but still that's their schedule for the 12-hour stream. I did see, I think it was Patrick Salazar, who's I don't know, I forget what his exact position is, but I know he does a lot of the stage management sort of stuff.
I was going to say villain based on his last name.
Okay. He might be a super villain. He might have a lair in a volcano. We really don't know. But
Salazar.
But what we do know is he posted a picture of him getting a COVID test, and he was saying like the broadcast is all getting tested and everything, so they'll be up and running and ready for tomorrow, or not tomorrow. This was a couple days ago, but so basically, this will be something that isn't. It won't be completely. Everyone's in their homes. There will be some stuff happening at the stage. Yeah, he said stage 5. Here we come. Extra Life crew tested and negative. So now the broadcast fun begins. And then it's a picture of the swab in his nose. He says, by the way, that's only half the swab that you see, and it's sticking out like this far. It's significant. So there will be stuff done on stage and, in person. People will be together. I don't think that's happened much. I think that the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that's happened with them being together is the Face Jam van video that they put out last week or the week before. And they talked about everyone getting, obviously everyone's been tested and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing it safely, and it's, it'll be done correctly. They're not going to, they've been harping on, the COVID safety and stuff like that. And so like, they're not going to try to, they're not going to put anyone in harm's way. They're not going to do anything that's going to, be sketchy or like anything. Which I mean,
being smart about the whole situation,
yeah,
as best they can.
And I feel like if you all get tested and everyone's negative, that's fine. Like, there's not really I don't feel like there's a lot of danger in that. Like, if everyone's checked out and you're good to go, then the only danger, like, because I don't know if this is the case. All I know is that Renee had to get a COVID test for work, and they did I think they called it a rapid test, which she got the results back. I don't know what the exact time frame was, but she got them back rather quickly, within like an hour or two, something like that. And that one was negative. And then they said if that comes back negative, then they're going to send because they took 2 swabs. They said that one, the quick one or the rapid one is negative, then they send the second one out to be tested further. And because I guess that rapid one was not very reliable. So I don't know if,
Was this just for her to go to work, or was there something there?
It was based on the fact that this was whenever she had her like small cough, and then her boss's husband was getting tested, and when her boss's husband was getting tested, they shut her work down, and no one was allowed to come in case someone had it, and because she worked with people, so they don't want it to spread further, and then her boss just said, well, Renee's been coughing, so she basically like kind of ratted her out, because she had a small weird cough. It wasn't like, I know it sounds weird, but like we were both like positive that it wasn't COVID, because she has not been around anybody. Like I said, she works with people, but she's not in direct contact with them. She's basically on her own all day long. When we get groceries, it's just they just load them in the back. We don't even go in most of the time. So it's like she hadn't been around anyone really in a while. So we were pretty sure that's not what it was. And she got the test, and it's not. She didn't have it, but yeah, that's what it had to do with was that. But I was like, I'm assuming that since they know Extra Life is coming up, they probably had the more accurate test done. But
yeah, but I feel like there's other shows. I think Conan. I think he does stuff at his stage with like him and Andy, and maybe Sona.
Yeah, there's a couple shows I've seen that are
like doing like 3 people.
Yeah,
on the stage or whatever.
I know Good Mythical Morning is doing they're back at their studio, because they were doing it at home, but for a while now they've been back there. But like I said, I think the only issue would be is if there's like a place that was operating off of that rapid test, and this is only based off, like I said, what I know from her getting the test. But it's if there's places basing off of that, then that seems unreliable. But I'm assuming that this is not that case, and that they had the more reliable one done, since this is a date on the calendar. This isn't like, we need to know by tomorrow whether or not you're infected. But yeah, so it's all checked out, but I'm happy to see people back together again, get the dynamic a little bit more. I'm hoping that if, after Extra Life, with everyone getting tested and this, like I said, them being safe about everything, I'm hoping this leads to more like person-to-person content. Obviously, they're not going to have the whole office back, but it's like I would love to see Lateral back with them all together at, playing a board game or whatever. and just different stuff. Like I feel like GTA isn't really missing a beat.
No, why would video game stuff wouldn't?
The only thing that at first, which was off, was like when you're in Discord or we've had, I think when we had Phil on the first time with Skype, is sometimes like the way the software works, it'll prioritize whoever's talking. So like there was a couple times on that when we had Phil on where like if I was saying something and one of you said something, nothing came through for me. Like,
Right.
and it's like, so like then you just had these moments where like someone would say something and no one heard it, and then they're like, wait, what? Like I said it like 10 minutes ago. Like, well, we didn't hear anything, or they just be either repeating themselves a bunch. But it seems like a lot of the kinks and stuff they've kind of ironed out for, like doing it over the internet and stuff like that. So most of that stuff I feel like is still plowing ahead nicely. But yeah, there's certain things I feel like have lost a little bit of their zing. Like I said, like Let's Roll I think is the trickiest because Tabletop Simulator, while works, like if you and I wanted to play a game, that I think that works, but the dynamic is certainly different and than being there in certain games. Like you're trying to remember like the key commands for like just looking at a card or whatever it is. So it's just like there's certain ones that it would be nice to see them back together in some capacity. But yeah, I think I guess I don't think, but I hope that this leads to more stuff like that. Maybe every once in a while, maybe once every. I think someone said, they were looking into doing maybe something like once a week or something, but I don't know.
But I'm just curious with the numbers kind of skyrocketing. If they try to do once a week, will that get shut down? Like, hey, just go back to being at home.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the. I mean, 'cause like I said, it's numbers are going up, but if you are tested, then neither of you have it, then you should be okay. Like the other thing would be is if they weren't getting tested all the time, but if they, like I said, if they did do like a once a week thing, I think it'd be like them working at home or from home, where like I think there'd be a initial period where they had to figure stuff out, but I think once they kind of got it rolling, I think they could probably do that for occasional thing. Now, obviously, Jeremy moving back to Massachusetts, that might be a little issue for him to be in anything, but still, it's something that I don't know. I'd like to see. I'd like to see them back together and actually a couple people here and there. That's like I said, I'm not expecting the whole studio to be back or like all of Achievement Hunter smashed into their office again, but
right.
I think it maybe just do like a show, and even if they were together and distant or whatever. It's like they'll do it safe. They'll figure it out. I think most of the numbers right now, because we talked about on Out in the Grapes this week about we talked about Corona for a while, and I said something about how the obviously the testing has gone through the ceiling, so that's going to affect the numbers. But I think most of the numbers going up is one weather related because where we're at like East Coast, Northeast, it's gotten colder. People aren't going outside as much.
It was hot all last week. I don't want to hear it got colder.
It was hot for like 3 days. It was 30 degrees. My car was covered in ice this morning.
Well, I was miserable those 3 days.
It got warm briefly, but we're going into cold and flu season. It's getting colder. People aren't, they're inside, and it's like I think it's more so people being irresponsible, and outdoor things they're like lessening. So, I think that's probably the big reason for the numbers going up so much. So it's like I think if the people are doing it safe, and because like my job and stuff, like we're not required to have a COVID test every time we go to work, but if they were doing it, I'd say that's like the super safe way of doing it. Like if you both don't have it, then your risk is pretty minimal. I think especially if they're also still staying distant and they're not like right on top of each other. Like I said, obviously I said like Let's Roll, so that'd be a little hard because they're all gonna be around a board, but still, it's they're not gonna be shoulder to shoulder. Like maybe if they have 3 people on a table, I don't know. I think they could figure it out and do it in a safe way. But
right, that's for them to figure out, and hopefully you to enjoy.
Which I know I will, because we've watched. I think at this point I've seen all the Let's Rolls. There might be a few that I didn't watch, but it's only a small handful. But yeah, it's just a wait and see kind of thing. But that is all I have. Wasn't there something that you?
It was just I don't forget what night it was. But it was like 2 nights ago. The YouTube outage. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was ever.
Oh yeah.
That yeah. Like
I think
it's
it was
not a
Wednesday.
huge. Like I don't know if it affected Rooster Teeth at all, but if it affected, I mean, I saw everyone on Facebook, which is like, what's going on? Why is YouTube down? Anybody have answers?
There was a couple concerned people on the Rooster Teeth subreddit too, because they said they were watching, I forget what it was. I think it was Sky Factory, which Ryan's a heavy part in. He's all over that. And then they were in the middle of watching that. It stopped working. And they thought that it stopped working because Rooster Teeth took down, or Achievement Hunter took down all those videos. And they were like, is this really what's happening? They're going to remove all these videos? And people are like, no, YouTube is down. Like, okay, good.
Yeah.
It's like there was a lot of like concern about like some people were trying to watch stuff and like, this isn't working.
Yeah, I was trying to watch. I don't get on YouTube like all the time, but I was like, I think I just wanted to put like a YouTube playlist on. And I was like, what the fuck? Is my internet down? I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is stupid. I'm getting pissed. And then I tried it on my TV, my phone. And I was like, oh, something's wrong.
Well, that's what we were watching because This Just Internet came back. The Gmod was posted, and I forget what we were. There was another. Oh, it was Matt and Jeremy played Phasmophobia, the ghost hunting game, and we're like, oh, which one will we watch first? So I go, well, this was posted yesterday. It was on Tuesday, so I was like, let's watch the Phasmophobia one first. We put that on. It ended. I went to This Just Internet. I clicked on it, and nothing happened. I was like, what's going on? I was like, this one just not working? And I went to the Gmod, and it didn't work. And I was like, I'm confused. And then I found something else. Like, I think everything's down. And then I went to, like, there's a website called, like, Is It Down or something like that?
Yeah,
And
I've heard of.
I just looked up, is YouTube down? And I went to it, and it was, like, the number of people reporting that wasn't working. It was, like, I forget, it was, like, 6:44. It said, like, 27 people said they were having an issue with YouTube. At 7:14, 246,000 people said they had an issue with YouTube. It was like, so I think it's down. I was like, I don't think it's working.
It's down. It was down, I think, almost all night.
Yeah, I don't know. We moved on to.
Yes, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, it was like, well, I guess I'll just watch something else now. And
did you go to the Rooster Teeth app? Did you try to use that to watch whatever you wanted to watch, or did you just literally move on? You just
no, because
forget it.
Typically, we watch Rooster Teeth stuff while we're eating. It's like our dinner ritual is we'll get our food and then we'll put on whatever they put up that day or like something we missed or whatever. So we were like trying to figure out what was going on while we're eating. We basically finished up eating and then I forget what she was doing something. I think maybe she's playing or she went to play Among Us or something. So I was like, oh, and I was like, it's down. And then I was like, and I just started watching stuff on my laptop. So we watched everything we wanted to watch yesterday. So we didn't just not watch it, but yeah, it was just like we were done eating and we're just like, yeah, well, we'll figure it out when it comes back.
Deal with this later.
But no, you said that you put it down because it kind of drives home the point that they make about having their website, and even last week talking about Ruby going off of YouTube. It's like
source your own material.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of just another like, well, this is why it benefits. I mean, obviously, if they have their own outage, it can happen to anybody, but still, this is kind of what they're talking about. They're in control of what's happening, and it's just another kind of point for why they have their own thing. Because when the ad thing happens, or there's outages, or if YouTube changes their terms of service and just determines that this chunk of their videos is no longer acceptable, then they can go, well, it is, and they can just have it on their website, and it's fine. So it's kind of another tally for why it's important for them to have the website and everything. But no, I think that's it. I think we're coming in under an hour again. But I don't know. I don't have a problem making these shorter. I don't think it's that big. Especially, I mean, we have 2 shows now, so it's like between the 2, I feel like we're putting out a decent amount of content for now, while we both work full-time jobs and are not off the same days. I think we're doing a good job.
It's great. We make it work. But as always, we want to thank you for watching, listening, unsubscribing, subscribing, deleting us from your memories.
Yeah, we should say that we can relate to Alfredo because someone disliked our video last week, so we know what it's like to face backlash. I think we finally made it.
One thumbs down.
Yeah. It hurt our hearts. It's what Doug has been waiting for since we started doing this, is the negativity and the pushback. And he got it, finally. He got
one.
He got his downvote. So, yeah. You can watch this podcast on YouTube if you're listening to it. And we have Out in the Grapes that comes out every Wednesday, where we talk about everything's more of a general podcast where we just discuss our lives and things we're watching, things that are going on. Yeah, watch that stuff, listen to that stuff. And we will be back on Wednesday with another Out in the Grapes, where we'll talk about, I don't know, probably One Piece, because that's what I fell into when YouTube went down. So we might come up. Just warning you now. But that is it. I like when Doug does the outros. I feel safe. And well, you just did it when you were saying like thank you for listening. Like that's.
Oh, I was like I don't know.
No, not like. I mean, it's a classic for you to say peace, bitch, or whatever. But I meant whenever you're like, okay, everybody, thank you for listening to this show, and join us next week, and you go through the nice.
Peace, bitch.
Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted, but that's what I got. I felt comforted. Now I feel uncomforted.